This is a 2000 Ford Focus ZTS with a 2-liter Z-Tech engine, and the transmission, it's a manual transmission. It was stuck in second gear. The shifter was just sloppy, and it broke a shift cable inside the housing. You couldn't see it broken on the ends. It was broken inside the housing. I'm going to show you how to replace those cables, and it's pretty much a pain in the rear end. So here we go. First of all, let's start on the inside. We'll take the console out. There is a, I've just got things setting in place. I've got the new cables installed, so I thought I'd show you how to get to them. Start at the back. There's a little plastic plug, which is right there, is in this hole in the console. Fits real flush. It doesn't even look like a plug, so pick that out of there. There's a screw inside there. Take that out. And this armrest, take these screws out here, these 2 screws, which actually go through those 2 holes, and then it slides to the rear. Take your armrest off. Oh, before you do that, I'm sorry, there's a plastic panel that fits right in there, so take that off. It just snaps off. And then let's go to the front. The shifter boot just kind of, it just unsnaps from the hole, and you need to pull your parking brake handle up as high as you can. It needs to be as straight up as you can get it. And then up here in the cup holder area, there's a screw in each cup holder. Take that out. And then the console, I believe, is ready to come out. See if I can get it off of here one-handed. Slide your boot through the hole. Let me get the console out of the way. And then there is, I think, 3 screws that hold this armrest support in place. So take those 3 screws or nuts off, and that'll come off out of there. And then this heater duct right here runs down through here, and it sits on a little stud right here and right here. There's some metal clips. Pop them metal clips off, then slide this heater duct out of there. And then this piece here, there's a screw on each side up under the dash. There's either a screw or a little plastic rivet that goes in there on each side. And then pull it straight back. There's a clip right there that goes in that hole, so it'll unsnap out of that. And then there's a little push pin, goes in that hole right there. Pull that out, and this little duct work will come off of there. And then you got to take the bottom of the heater box off, and it's in 2 pieces, and it just unsnaps. There's a little plastic snap there, kind of in the center. And I think there's a screw on the back side. Let's go around to the other side now. On this side, there's a little insulated panel under the dash. Take that off. It's got some of these little, let me find one here. It's got these little clips, and they've got a little Phillips screw in the middle of them. No, that's not one. Right here. Got those little Phillips screws in the middle, so unscrew that screw out of the center of the clip and then pull the clip out. There's 3 of them on that under dash cover. Same thing on this side. I believe there's a screw at the back and a clip right here. Unsnap that, pull that off. And then you have to take a utility knife and cut the carpet from here forward as far as you can reach. and pull this carpeting back. On each side, and there's two nuts. Need a 10mm socket. Take those two nuts off. That's where your cables run through the floorboard. And then on this end, it just unsnaps. There's a ball and socket joint here that just pulls off and unsnaps, and there's one inside on. You can get to it from the back for the other cable. And the way these cables are made, I'll show you later. This part right here, this collar closest to the cable end, and this one here, this is spring loaded, and you turn it counterclockwise. I'll show you in a minute to loosen it up. So you need to turn this collar like you're unscrewing it, and it just sets in a slot right here, a U-shaped slot. So as you unscrew that and hold it, like I said, it's spring loaded, it'll snap back shut. Unscrew that, and then this cable will just lift up out of the slot. And it's that way on the transmission end, and that's the hard part, getting that off. So now let's go up here. Take, of course, this clamp sets down here. Take that clamp off. Unplug your MAF sensor. Take your 4 screws out of the air cleaner housing. Take the lid off. And then take this hose off the valve cover. And this air cleaner box just unsnaps. It's sitting in some rubber grommets. Unsnap that, take that out of your way. And now the fun begins. It's hard to see. It's going to be hard to see on the video. There's our 2 silver cables there. They've got some heat protective coating on them. Heat shield, those silver. So there's your cables. And they, the top one's easiest to get from the top. It's going to be hard to see. Let's see. Right there's that collar. Right there where the flashlight is. That collar, it's the same thing. You're going to unscrew that and pull that up out of the bracket. And then the other end, you don't really think we can see, it's down in here. It'll just snap off of the shift lever that's on the transmission. And you might want to mark these cables somehow, piece of tape, a wire tie, some white paint, because once you're going back together you need to make sure you get the right cable in the right bracket. So there's the top one. Let's go underneath. Okay. If I can show you. Ford says to take this exhaust joint loose here and take it from the hanger, but I didn't do that, and it's okay not doing it. There's I'll show you these clips later. I think there's 6 clips. I've got the heat shield. It's kind of hanging down, but it mounts up here. I don't know. It's hanging down. You'll see it. Take those 6 clips off, and I'll show you in a minute how to get them off. And then the reason you take that off, it's going to be hard to see, but there's right above that is where the shift cables come out of the floor, and there's a clip right there. They just snap in that clip right there, one on each side. And the bottom cable, you can kind of see it. Yeah, let's see. Hang on a minute. See that orange? That, I will show you that in a minute too, but that's the end of it. That's where it snaps onto the lower lever. That's the lower cable here. And I don't know if we can even really see it, but you can reach one hand up here over the steering rack and get to the that sleeve I was telling you about. It's about right in there where my finger is. Barely get your fingers on that. And then the other end, you can reach your hand up here. There's the cable. And I'm touching it right now, but you can't see it with the camera. But anyway, you need to loosen that collar up and get that cable out of the bracket. And that was a real hassle. Anyway, I'll show you the old cables. Get a better look at them. Okay, here is the old cables. These are the ends on the shifter end. And this is the ends on the transmission. And this is the upper one. Like I said, you just take this collar. This one's kind of broken. They were brittle and they're made out of plastic and they just kind of broke. But you unscrew that, and actually this yellow piece here, which I'd have known that beforehand, would have been nice. That yellow piece came on the shifter end on the new cables. So what I would suggest doing is take those off of that end on your new cables, and on the transmission end, which is this end, unscrew this, put this yellow piece in there that will hold it open. And when you're installing it, then when you get it on your U-shaped bracket, you just push down on the whole cable and it pops that yellow piece off and it'll slide down into the bracket instead of trying to loosen this up, get your fingers in there, which is hard to do. So I would suggest doing that. I don't know why they didn't put them on both ends. And then this one is the broken end. It just fell off. When you get ready to adjust it, when you get your cables on there and get ready to adjust it, what you need to do, I'll pop this up. If you push on this tab, that pops up. So after you get them snapped onto your shifter levers on the transmission and you're ready to adjust it, what you do is you push down on this. If I can do it one-handed. Push down on that and maybe to the rear underneath this white tab right there, and it'll lock it. And now it is disengaged. This will slide back and forth and the cable won't move. There's a kind of a ratcheting mechanism in there. So when you're ready to adjust them, push both of them in there so they're locked like that. And then on your shifter, there's a special tool that's made that you slide in here and holds this shifter in the exact neutral position. Of course, I don't have that, but I think this will work pretty good. Actually, your shifter is going to set in the center position by itself in side-to-side direction, but back and forth is kind of really what we need to adjust. So what I would suggest doing is lining this up with this edge right there, because that's your reverse edge. When you lift up with your reverse collar under the shift knob, it lets it go in reverse over that. So what I would suggest how to adjust this is basically you're pulling that over and that's reverse. So when it's pulled over against that, that's exact neutral right there. So what I would do is kind of pull it over and keep that aligned as best you can, and then both cables should now be ready to unlatch and then will be adjusted. Like I said, just push down on this little tab there, that pops up and it locks it. So that's how you adjust them. On the bottom bracket, I don't know if it was just this car or